Hello, dear authors and invited guests. Welcome to the technical session 6C. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the fifth World Conference on Smart Trends and in Systems Security and Sustainability through Zoom on behalf of WS4 2021 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation. We are thankful to everyone present on this platform to go along with us digitally for the conference in these unpredictable circumstances of COVID-19 and making this conference more productive. Also, we wish everyone and their families a protected time and we all will together pass this soon. We hope you will enjoy the last day of the knowledgeable and interactive session. Just before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the chat for this session, Dr. Akbar Sheikh Akbari. Dr. Akbar is currently an associate professor at School of Built Environment Engineering and Computing, Leeds Beckett University. He has published more than 100 international journal and conference papers. His main research interests include image video processing, source camera identification, and biometric identification techniques. Over to you, Dr. Akbar.
Thank you for introducing me. Welcome everybody to 5th World Congress on Smart Trends in System Security and Sustainability. We will have 6 speakers today, and the first speaker is Prachi Kalsasi, and her topic, her paper title is Classification of Handwritten Index Scripts Using Deep Learning. Could I ask the author to start presenting?
Yes, of course. Good afternoon. My name is Prachi Khalsasi. I'm from India. I'm a final year engineering student at Cummins College of Engineering, Pune. My major is in computer engineering. I'll be doing the presentation today for our paper on the classification of handwritten Indian scripts using deep learning. I'm the co-author along with Aditri Jaiswal, Abha Jain, Misha Batra, and Dr. Sindhya Arora. In this paper, we propose a system that identifies 12 different scripts that are currently commonly used in India. The scripts that we mainly aim to identify are Bangla, Devanagari, English, Gujarati, Gurumukhi, Kannada, Manipuri, Malayalam, Odia, Tamil, Telugu, and Urdu. So let's talk about why this research can be extremely useful. Oftentimes during archaeological excavations, scriptures are found, and these scripts are not modern society, are not ones that modern societies recognize. So it becomes a little difficult to, draw out information from these scriptures. So if a machine were to classify that this scripture is closest to so and so modern script that we know, so we can deduce a lot of information about the cultural similarities or how the culture evolved from that civilization to modern times right now. Another aspect that we can consider is that classification of these scripts can act as a precursor to optical character recognition and digitization of scripts. One major aspect that is a roadblock in optical character recognition for Indian scripts is that they're very different, they're vast, and in a single language in multiple regions, they're written in different styles. So it becomes a little difficult for an optical for an OCR to kind of identify what script it is and then finally deduce it. So if a machine were to, if a system does the first part, it becomes easier to build an OCR. The methodology that we adopt in this paper is that we have a data set of isolated characters. These images are undergoing pre-processing methods. Like they're cropped, their skewness is adjusted, and sometimes they're rotated so to introduce a variation. These images are passed to a deep neural network. We use a convolutional neural network in this case. It uses supervised learning, so labels are also passed along with these images. Once the model is trained, a user can upload a new image. Now, these images are mostly in paragraphs or at least sentences. So it's important that we have to segment each individual character because that's what the model has been trained on. So these images undergo pre-processing methods to adjust the clarity, the brightness levels, and then every character is isolated from this image and is passed to the model. The model outputs a label for each character, and therefore the most recurrent label is printed as the expected output. Our data set consists of 36,000 images of 12 different languages, each language contributing around 3,000 images. So the data set is a balanced one. For a lot of languages, we found open source data sets because little to no work was done on so many scripts collectively. We had to create our own data set by collecting individual language data sets and then can form a consolidated data set. For some languages like Gurumukhi, we weren't able to find any online data sets or open source data sets. So our team members and we had a few of our colleagues write down some of the characters of the language. This introduced a diversity in the way that the characters were written. These images were then augmented to form a data set of 3,000 images for Gurumukhi. The image on the left demonstrates the sample data set, the consolidated data set. And the image on the right is an example, is a snippet of our augmented and originally created data set. As I mentioned before, that the model has been trained on isolated characters, but more often than not, the script that we want to identify is not going to be in isolated characters. It's going to be in documents, in paragraphs, sentences at least. So to isolate characters from such a document, we adopt three levels of segmentation: the line level, word level, and character level. So for line level segmentation, we analyze the entire document for horizontal contours and make a split based on the least contour density. So wherever there is a space or there are no contours detected, we make a split horizontally so that each line is a different image. Now this separated line is passed to another algorithm that detects contours vertically. So similar to the line segmentation, it makes a split wherever it finds no contour density or a space. For the character level, it's a little more complicated. So each word in Indian scripts are usually written in cursive, or they have a header line just combining the entire word. It's called a Shirorekha. So it makes it difficult for the system to identify a space. So for this, we had to use both vertical and horizontal contours and then apply a threshold so that it allowed a single small line to be treated as a space for just character segmentation. This is a sample of how words and characters were isolated. So the data set was consolidated. Our character isolation algorithm was in place, and we decided to work on the model. So this is our proposed model. It uses a convolutional neural network architecture. We chose this because convolutional neural networks, or CNNs, have proven to be extremely efficient when it comes to feature extraction from image data sets, mainly because they perform convolution and are extremely efficient in dealing with matrices kind of data. So we have an input layer and convolutional and max pooling layers in alternation that have been used. The activation function that we use is ReLU. A regularization has been implemented. It imposes a penalty on the weights so that the coefficients are normalized and you don't have extreme values of weights. This helps in preventing overfitting. We've also implemented a dense layer in between. It's mainly used.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. You have last 2 minutes.
Yes, okay. So we've implemented a dense layer, which is mainly used to reduce the dimensions of the feature vector. It uses a leaky ReLU function because it allows for a slope even for negative values, which solves the problem of dying ReLU. The final output layer is a dense layer of 12 units, each representing the script. The activation function used is softmax because it's proven to be most efficient in multi-class classification. We'd use 3 optimizers while training our model, ADAM, NADAM, and ADAMAX. The corresponding accuracies were 92.4, 97.41, and 89.25%. So NADAM has proven to be the most effective out of the 3. Future work along this project could be the digitization of handwritten documents, as I said, because we've classified it, so it's easier to build OCRs. Another problem is that some scripts have very large, very highly correlated characters. They're very similar. So a model could work on getting a better accuracy in these specific cases.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Very nice presentation and very nice piece of research work. Let's take some questions. Any questions from audience? Okay. Could I, if there is any question, we could go with audience question first. If not, I could ask you a couple of questions.
Sure.
Okay. My question is about the data set that you generated.
Mm-hmm.
Is the data set that you use generated by yourself, or you use a publicly available data set?
As I mentioned that for some languages, we consolidated different languages. Yeah. So on Kaggle and GitHub, we found languages for some data sets for Devanagari, Bangla, Gujarati. But for some languages that we didn't find, we created our data set from scratch.
Okay, what was the size of this data set?
The one that we created?
Yes, the data set that you use to train and test your algorithm.
So it had a total of 36,000 images while training.
So how many images per character? Do you have some ideas, or it is in your paper?
So all of them are individual characters in the data set, which is why
saying, you know, have you considered particular number of samples for each character?
Yes.
Saying, for example, 100 image per character or less or more. Do you have any idea about this?
Yes. Most Indian languages have around 40 characters in them. So we have around 55 to 60 for each character.
Okay, my next question is, you have this data set, and normally to train a neural network system or deep learning system, we need to split the data set into training and testing. Can you tell me what was the percentage of data set have you used for training the system? How many have you used for testing?
Yeah, we had a 70-30 split.
Data set? Sorry, please repeat.
A 70-30 split for training and testing and validation.
Okay, that's a really good things that you mentioned about this one. And you just used existing networks to assess their performance. Am I correct? You haven't developed a new network yourself.
It's a different model based on convolutional neural networks.
Okay. My next question comes, normally when we have a data set, if the amount of data is not enough, we go through transfer learning. Have you considered using transfer learning to improve the accuracy of your system?
Not as of now, but that's one thing to consider. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. Very nice presentation, and we enjoyed watching your presentation. If there is any question from the audience, please. No, we don't have any further question. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prachi.
Okay.
Shall I? Next presenter is Mr. Viral Agrawal. And the paper title is IoT and AI-based Advanced LPG System, ALS.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Warm good afternoon to everyone, all the panel members and all the audience. So, hello, Akbar sir. So, shall I start my presentation?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, please share your PowerPoint presentation first.
Yeah. Is my presentation is visible to all?
Yes, it's clear to me.
Yeah. Okay. So, hello, everyone. My name is Viral Agarwal, and I am here to present my paper presentation on a title name is IoT and AI-based Advanced LPG System. So, the paper ID is 291, and I am from ABSIT Institute of Technology, Ghaziabad, India. And I am pursuing my final year electronics and communication engineering. I have a lot of interest and hobby towards more embedded systems and IoT. So related to that, I have done a very good research, and I've made a project on advanced LPG system that is basically a IoT and AI based. So my presentation goes in a flow like this. This is an objectives and goals, project description, project innovations that we have done, flowcharts, component list we have added, prototype and schematics, and then we have references. So when we are talking about the project objective and goals, so the first thing when we are considering an Indian culture, or we can say that India is Indian case study. So we have a lot of advantages of using, or we have a lot of like you can say a load on LPG cylinders for a common contribution for cooking and for the transportation purpose. And then we have a few cons and along with the pros of the LPG connections. So when we talking about the cons of the LPG, so that is the gas leakage. So gas leakage may cause a lot of serious damages, even fatalities in few cases. Also, overheating of utensils, like we are making any food or on our gas stoves, then there might be any chances that they get overheated, and due to which a loss of food what we are making, or sometimes burning maybe occur. So then we are talking about another issue. Another issue is related to the gas booking system. While booking a gas, when a consumer books a gas towards from a distributor, we might suffer a lot of delay. Like we have to keep in mind that 20 or to 30 days in India situation that it takes for a delivery service for delivering of the cylinder. So our system will automatically book the gas cylinder according to the available gas in the cylinder is defined and goes below the threshold level. So the threshold level can be set by the user accordingly. And our next goal is to design a system which can withstand the defects of an LPG system in an economic and efficient manner by detecting a gas leakage. So another topic which I am talking about, that is gas leakage system. So sometimes the gas will leak from the cylinders, and that may cause a lot of casualties, fatalities, or many incidents can occur. So which may also we are working on, we have worked on automatic gas booking system, which makes communication between customers and distributors convenient. And also we have proposed a smart gas stove that is controllable via mobile or web application for the convenience of consumers. So now let's move towards the next slide, that is automatic gas booking system. That is the one objective of my research. That is, yeah. With the rising demand for LPG users should pre-book their LPG cylinders in a manual process. We estimate this time to be around 20 days. Then the common problem is to gauge the amount of gas left in the cylinder to order for a new cylinder from the distributor. Like what I've said earlier, the thing is when we order a new cylinder or book a new gas cylinder from distributor, it might take times around 20 days to deliver. For that process, the consumer need to be very attentive, like how much gas is left in my cylinder, or when I need to book that. All that tension don't need all that tension sometimes create a hassle for the user. And then so our automatic system, what it does is, when the weight measured using the load sensor, we have introducing a load sensor over here that senses the gas cylinder in the gas in the cylinder, And after that, if the gas level goes beyond the threshold level, then it will send an alert to the user as well as to the distributor for the pre-booking of the gas. And after that, after that, the distributor can manage their supply chain or the delivery accordingly. So here I am presenting a small flow chart, or you can say a graphical interface what we are proposing over here. So this is a basically automatic gas booking and monitoring and its rectification. So basically we have a cylinder. Let me just point it out. So we have a gas cylinder over here, and then we have a load cylinder beyond which all these sensors are connected to a one microcontroller, and the microcontroller here we are using an ESP32 for our prototyping purpose. And we have a we have a servo motor, we have this MQ4 sensor for gas leakage detection, and then we have a consumer over here. Then we have a SIM800 GSM module for the whole purpose. Then we have a distributor at the distributor end. So all this work accordingly in a mannerful way. So let's move towards the consumer and distributor portal, what we have made for it. So basically, it's a system is set up which will act as an interactive portal. It's basically an interactive portal for managing all the upcomings or the past bookings that a consumer made. So this is a smart data collection which is used to determine the gas level of gas in a particular cylinder and gas by notifying the consumer. So here we have a register page, then we have a login page, then we have a live status page. In the user login page, we have also option for registering first. If we are introducing our project, then first of all the user needs to be registered themselves. Then they can log in by their entered email IDs and passwords. Then we have a then we have a login page. So the login page will look like this, like we have made this. So basically, it's
sorry to interrupt, sir. You have 2 minutes last.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So basically, in which we have interactive portal on which you can manage all your deliveries, last deliveries, or you have last time, at what date you have ordered the last cylinder. And according to which, and the backend side, the data will also be collected on the AWS portal, where you can, where the analytics can be done in the later stages. So there's a live status page. This is a real-time data, or you can say graphical interface. It's coming over here, so the user can already detect that how much I'm consuming gas every day. So this is a smart gas stove. This is the third objective what we are doing in our whole system. So this is the purpose of basically the purpose of smart gas stove using the motion detection technology is to detect the person, is to detect the presence of user near the gas stove and alert or turn off the stove automatically if the user is not found more than the entered period. So sometimes we know that the incidents happen when we have a smart gas stoves, or when we have a normal gas stoves in our houses, like we left our food on gas stove and we just forgot about it, and due to which many incidents can occur. So we have introduced a motion detection based smart gas stove, or also we have a temperature and humidity sensor over here that will also detect the temperature and humidity. So this is it. And then we have our project innovations, what we have done in the basis of innovations in it. So we have used a Wi-Fi as well as GSM services over here that will be beneficial for urban as well as for rural areas. And then we have IoT based gas stove, and then we have a secure distributed portal, and then we have a low power consumption microcontroller that will be able for deep sleep modes. And then we have a inbuilt over the air firmware versioning updatation system. Then we have data collection system and real-time monitoring system. Okay, then this is the flow chart of my automatic gas booking system and leakage and motion detection system. And then we have a smart gas stove flowchart. And this is the prototype and schematics what we have done for the prototyping purpose. And then we have a data analysis of this, how the gas consumption can be monitored at the national level at the later stages. So basically, this is a small amount of data that we have collected for a few months. when our product is installed in a consumer store. And so I want to give all the gratitudes to the research papers which I have referred for this for making my research paper. Thank you so much. And any questions will be answered.
Thank you very much. Quite a nice engineering project, which I really liked. It's my field for my undergrad student. Normally, we have lots of these projects. Let's see if another presenter or people around have questions. If there is any questions, please ask. Okay. No question from audience. Let's me asking a couple of questions. You talk about various sensors that you put to monitor the gas, and also you develop a package of software registering, monitoring, and also sending requests through mobile app perhaps to the user and also to the provider. So those different packages that you use, like load cells, also you talk about various sensors like motion sensors. Have you used them as a ready blocks, then connect them together, or you made your own, for example, load cell
So
scales?
So I got your question. So basically, we have used a prototyping sensor because we are working on a prototype on this stage. So for the prototyping sensors, like you can see in this my prototype that we have. So basically, all the load cells are industrial sensors, but the prototype, but the sensors like MQ4, like PIR sensors, all these sensors are like at the prototyping stages. So all those sensors are not industrial sensors, so those are only prototyping sensors. Yeah.
The other nice thing that you mentioned about the microcontroller, and you use sleep mode to
deep sleep.
When you are not using that, it goes to sleep. As the user, for example, turn the stove on, it send a message to wake up the microcontroller and start the process. Can you put more light on it?
Yes. So basically, what we are using over here is ESP32 from Expressive Systems. So basically, when we are talking about the Expressive system, they have provided a wide range of low power modes in their microcontrollers, or we can say developer boards that we have. So basically, in ESP32, we have sleep mode, we have light sleep mode, we have deep sleep modes. So basically, what we are doing in our firmware level, we have defined a fixed amount of period. Like after that period, the microcontroller will wake up, get the readings, and if the threshold level of the gas cylinder is below the defined level, then it will send the alert to the distributor, or else it will kept into the sleep. So it is all at the firmware level.
So the question comes that the scale is continuing weighting the cylinder, or it does every often you wake it up saying, okay, do one measurement, go to sleep, and again do the measurement, or continuously you are measuring the weight?
No. We are not continuously measuring. We are just making a schedule of measuring the gas in the cylinder.
Okay. The next question is about the lifetime of batteries for microcontroller, for scales and other things. Have you considered this, and do you have any idea how long the battery will last?
What's the project innovativeness of our project is that we have used a battery. 12-volt battery can may be sufficient for our project, but also electricity powered. Like we can also give a electricity like 12-volt DC supply to it for the continuous processing of our project. But if we are talking about the battery usage, then we have to work on it.
Okay. My last question, perhaps still we have a couple of minutes to ask you a question. Mainly, I see it as like a nice electronic engineering project. Where is the innovative, contribution in this paper? If you talk about putting together various equipment, writing lots of programs, it's all engineering. What is the innovation in this? What is different from other people done in this paper?
Yeah, so basically the innovation comes where I will let you know. So basically we have developed a consumer or distributor portal. Many of the research paper I have referred on them. We have earlier we have made so many automatic gas booking systems, but the communication with the user and the distributor they cannot establish. Like they have used GSM 700 modules, like they have used sometimes Wi-Fi, but they do not have made a clear portal for visualization of data. We have just creating our customer distributor consumer and distributor portal on which user can monitor the data consumption, as well as the distributor can see the upcoming deliveries or the past deliveries as well. And also we have developed here a smart gas stove that we have rarely found anything like about it. So basically a smart gas stove is a new concept over here that we are introducing in our research paper. So motion detection based smart gas stoves and the timer based smart gas stoves, we have the project innovativeness over here.
Okay, thank you very much. Any question from audience? Thank you very much. Very nice presentation. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Viral.
Thank you.
Yes. Our next presentation is from Mr. C. Satish, and the paper title is Adoption of Smart Agriculture Using IoT, a Solution for Optimal Soil Decision Tree Making. I guess he's not in the session. So we are moving ahead with our next presenter, Ms. Sonam Sharma. Paper title is Carbon Footprint Analysis Using Knowledge Graph. Hello, Sonam.
Shall I welcome
Yes,
this?
ma'am.
Yep.
Yes.
So let me share my screen.
Thank you.
So is it visible?
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Yes. So hi, greetings for the day, everyone. Good morning, good evening, to everyone. Yeah. So I, Sonam Sharma, will be presenting on behalf of my co-authors Meghna and Sumuk, and our paper topic is carbon footprint analysis using knowledge graph. So here, initially, the problem statement has come from the way that we can see that various climate changes that are happening nowadays. Like, so we need to come up with some kind of an approach which can help us derive that what is happening around the globe and how can we change it and how to take the action, and if at all anybody has implemented anything, any action items related to something related, or some kind of approach anybody has come up related to carbon footprint or sustainability, then how can we leverage that, how to go about it, or how to we leverage all those things. So here we have come up with a climate action knowledge graph where it will help us, it will help the end user in providing the action to the, or help support to the government or communities to work together together in the reduction of carbon footprint. There are negative consequences if we don't start from now, if we don't go about it and using this approach, like because since there is a scattered information everywhere and it is inconsistent, and we do not know that what we are doing wrong, when it, even if it is, I mean, right or wrong, then this kind of information we do not know. Now we are really so slow in recognizing, and we are really repetitive in the work and whatever is happening around the globe. So if anybody has come up with some kind of approach, another person, if it doesn't know, so if we from here won't even know that what is happening related to carbon footprint around the globe. Now we have, since we have leveraged the graph approach, why we have used graph approach and what is the advantage of that, it provides us enriched data where the resultant graph is complete in context, it provides us truth, and it should be intelligent, and it is connected with a lot of semantics. Here Initially, we developed various ontologies and taxonomies related to knowledge graph. What I mean by taxonomies is we get various keywords whenever we are getting the information from web. Then using those keywords, we see that how those keywords are related to each other. Then interlinking those relevant information, we can get that in do that in a graph which is scattered everywhere on the web. Then we search the climate relevant data efficiently because we are only focusing on climate relevant keywords. And finally we will get a knowledge out of it, and we can get a knowledge discovery. So finally, the advantage which we have is it can provide us answer, and it can help us that how whatever user is asking, and based on the context, it can provide the results to us. And how this action knowledge graph look like and what it should provide is it is like a 360-degree view of an entity of interest. Auxiliary entities means what is connected to what it is able to provide and process surrounding these, and enrichment of technology which we are doing in house. I like we are connecting the information together and enriching all the information, and whatever data that is present in silos in the database, that we are connecting to each other. The goal of this approach is providing the relevant action steps and socio-economic information to the end user. Then we had to come up with build a smart crawler so that we can get the authentic information from the web. Then it should be adaptive enough so that it can go go to the web and get only the relevant information which we require, so that we can build a knowledge graph or enrich the knowledge graph in that space. Then identification of important topics, which we have done using the topic co-occurrence algorithm. We have taken the approach of rapid keyword extraction algorithm, where it is extracting the keywords and it is based on how they are co-occurring with each other. We try to connect those keywords together. Then crawler is this crawls the data and pages from most of the sustainability sites and UN, or even our government sites as well, where they have anyways have come up with lot of approaches. If those approaches are available, how end user can leverage those approaches, how societies can leverage those approaches. And topics, initially we start with some topic, then it has to learn from those topic, and then then go about it on the internet and see that what how all those information it can scrape from the web. There are various, we can find, we are able to see that there is lot of technologies related to this approach that can be available in terms of a knowledge graph, which means by there AI for good. People are talking about knowledge graph and AI for good, but it is actually not available in such a form. It is a knowledge graph, but it is not providing you what action is available, and it is not related to what we are focusing on. Like we are focusing on the carbon footprint approach. There are a lot of research that has been done on carbon footprint analysis, but since they have come up with some kind of approach where one data is available, and they should try to build the model on top of it and try to come up with a solution. But whenever we try to solve the real world problem, it is not like that data is available in such a form. It is scattered everywhere, and we have to find connect that data with the relevant data. And yeah, so initial keywords when we are building the knowledge graph, which we have taken, are these. Like we have taken climate action keyword, footprint, carbon footprint, climate adaptation. We have used those keywords from some of the sites. We have taken help from UN site as well, where we are able to see that these keywords were helping us in getting the relevant information. Then I thought it is visible to me. So yeah, then what we are showing is we are also leveraging one of the data, which is like a CO2 data and grass emissions data, where we are able to see that whenever we link this kind of data, the greenhouse gas emissions data over here, we are able to, whenever we are linking this kind of data to our graph, it enriches our graph in such a form. And tools and techniques which we have used in enriching the data is we have leveraged our TCS in-house NLP techniques and parsing that unstructured data into and extracting the entities from there, and usage of external data sources, like we have linked concept net graph from the external data sources with the word net. Then we are identifying the entities from there and categorizing them. So for that we have
Sorry to
used.
interrupt, ma'am. You had last 2 minutes.
Okay. This is the main approach with how we have go about it and build the knowledge graphs. So we have taken various articles from the internet. These articles will anyway be based on initial articles which are based on the keywords. Then using those articles, then we have a text cleaning. We are taking text cleaning and text pre-processing, basic pre-processing we have done. Now our approach is we have extracted the triples from the data and textual data. Then we have done topic extraction from there and topic co-occurrence. This is where there is a difference which I am able to explain, that we have created the model for the same, where it has to identify the carbon related entities or carbon emission related keywords, and for using some of the model approaches. Then the topic extraction, for which I have mentioned that we have used basic small keyword extraction algorithm, where it is similar to a text rank, where it is trying to find the basic keywords. And another thing which it tries to do is try to find the co-occurrence, that how two keywords are related to each other. For example, how carbon footprint is related to carbon adaptation, and how climate change is related to regional climate, and how ecology. So in this way, we try to see get the documents related to keywords and link various topics related to each other. Then next we are using Neo4j database, where we are preparing the data and populating the graph DB. Then we are creating the indexing and then showing the graph. Yes. Another how we have extracted facts from the data, we are using SVO form in extracting using semantic parsers. Then we are extracting that. Then unsupervised rapid keyword extraction algorithm, we are using that. Using co-located words to extract the important documents. Then we represent how we represent the factual knowledge in the knowledge graph is, we have the article, where each article will be mentioning some country, how any country is going about, and explaining what is happening, and what should be what should happen related to the carbon footprint, and what are the subject and in other important entities that are available, and how any article has important topics, and how any topic is related to each other. And then we also have the data like CO2 emissions knowledge data, where it is like telling us, okay, how to say sorry. So, so it is like telling us that how CO2 emission knowledge can, I'm trying to link with, and it will provide with each year how CO2 emissions happens. So with this, we are able to find the country, and we are able to link that country with the article. So the moment we try to link this information together, we are able to identify that what any country has done related to CO2 emissions, and what are the various parameters using the topic co-occurrence, and how anything has happened on the subject and object. Then we are completing the graph using node to vec algorithm. Why we are using node to vec algorithm over here is we have created because there are various kind of triple embeddings available, and edge embeddings and knowledge graph embeddings that are available. But wherever have gone through node to vec words the vec, because it is similar to a word to vec, and it is like it helps us when you have lot of data, because when you have lot of data, it really takes lot of time to get the data and compare it and get the embeddings out of it. So it was giving us better results, because we are able to understand whatever it was trying to provide, rather than if we are going for edge embedding or whole knowledge graph embedding or triple embedding. because it is if we have gone for triple embedding algorithm doesn't work well, because we have a different kind of graph where apart from triple we have other kind of informations as well. And then we have clustered. For this we have used basic k-means clustering, because with the heavy data base, the only k-means works best. This is what I was trying to analyze. Then how do we go about in querying the data? Let's say I'm trying to find
I'm
the
sorry to interrupt you, but you have exceeded the time limit, so kindly conclude the presentation. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
this is kind of conclusion only. So how we are querying the data, it is we are trying to find all the information containing the climate finance as a topic along with all related topics of climate finance. Here, the moment user asks this such a question, we look for facts. And the node entity value, we are able to find that where node entity value is climate finance and node entity is topic, and what is the intent which user is asking the question in this way we are able to get the knowledge graph results from the knowledge graph. This is another question where I'm providing the related information related to at least 3 articles. In this, we are able to get the intent and how to get whenever at least is mentioned, we need to jump through in the graph 3 nodes in the graph, then try to find the solution. For using this, using the embedding method, these were the various embeddings, and using that we were able to get the knowledge graph in such a way. Yeah, and how this we are different is we have created knowledge base initially with no ontologies from scratch, and we have started with a minimal knowledge, and after that we have the crawler has come up with an is should be adaptive enough. It is adaptive enough to get the information from the web, and we have tried to provide the it is able to answer user queries in such a form. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. The topic is really interesting topic for community these days. And I see quite a nice contribution to knowledge based on developing a new way of doing, extracting this information. Let's see if audience have a question, then they have priority to ask. Any question from audience? Okay, so could I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes.
I think we have time, couple of minutes to ask. I understand that you develop a new way of extracting information from different articles. Have you considered this data, the input data, be something from the public platform, like, Facebook, Instagram, other places, or no, there are just government documentation or scientific publications?
No, it was not. We have not used. I have not used the scientific as such, because we have gone to the Google, and the way we write the query on Google, right? So we try to fetch the article based on that. The way I see, I have explained the keywords here, right? So I will be able to search related to those keywords on the web, and based on such keywords I will get some articles, like say for example news articles and other articles, other related
So
articles.
those articles are something that comes out, Google's find for you. It's not
Yes,
scientific articles, could be anything.
it could be anything. No, not scientific.
Okay. My next question is, you develop a new way of extracting this information. Have you considered comparing your approach with existing approaches?
Yes, as I said, related to carbon footprint analysis, we could not find anything. But when it comes to approach, the basic comparison comes from how we are embedding the nodes and how other things. So we are kind of for the comparison in the total approach, we are kind of in progress of creating this such a system, so that we can compare it with some other system finally. So it
And
is
then,
kind of a methodology currently as IP.
and my last question is about the classification techniques that you use. You use K-mean, plus perhaps, and you could use lots of, classification algorithm in reality at the end.
Yes, yes.
Why did you choose K-mean plus plus?
Because the data was very big, because whenever there is a large amount of data, it was initially taking, I mean, we need to sit through and it should take a lot of time to train that and get the classification result. And apart from that, there were various overlapping that happens whenever we have a large data of
Okay,
the
so
news.
in a way that you are saying the computation cost was matter to you at this stage.
Yes, even if apart from computation costs, we need to consider that how quickly we are getting the results.
Okay, this way. Okay,
Yes.
no more question from me. Any question from audience? Thank you very much. Very nice presentation and really nice topic for research. Thanks. Let's move to the next presenter.
Yes, sir, sure. Thank you so much, Ms. Sonam. Our next presentation is from Mr. Arun Kumar A. Paper title is Review of Powering and Actuation in Biorobotic Walking Orthosis. But I guess he is also not in the session.
I think he's in the. Alex is here. No, okay.
No, that's.
No, we don't have the presenter
Yes,
at the moment.
Yes, he is not available. So moving ahead with our next presentation, Mr. Sapta Sindhu Panda, paper title is an exploratory study to evaluate the quality of research publication by the Indian researchers.
Hello, am I audible?
Hello, good
Yes.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Good evening, one and all present here. With your permission, may I start my presentation, sir?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm Saptasundu Panda along with Ms. Kajal Panda going to present on our topic named on exploratory study to evaluate the quality of research publication by the Indian research. Here, this presentation, we are going to cover basically introduction, research objective, design, analysis, conclusion, and then we'll go for the references. So starting with the introduction, I would like to say different democratic cultures are seeking innovative approaches to tackle socio-economic problems in the age of developing technology. Whereas research publication and research problems are critically in mitigating the difficulties. So further more clarification on that, I should go for the next slide. So in this chart, we can see, sir, here as you can see, India is the 12th in the country-wise ranking in Nature Index publications, and from 2018 to 2019, it has improved its share score by 4.7%. So though it has progressed, we don't know the quality of research articles published in India each year. So to know that, we have chosen a tri-dimensional methodology to evaluate the research article through primary study and secondary study. So our research objective is to conduct a study to assess the quality of research publications by Indian scholars. And this study demonstrates the importance of Indian research articles in the field of research and innovation. The research work has divided into three segments, and that is part A, that is secondary data, part B is qualitative data, and part C is quantitative based research. So in this, yes. So part A, sir, consists of the correlation between the factors. Those are significantly associated with the quality of the Indian research journals. And the part B, which is quantitative approaches, that structurized questionnaire of 10 questions that is designed to collect the data from different segment of research spread across different age group. And the question answer is in 5 position scales. In part C, a structured open-ended questionnaire will be that have been prepared and surveyed and conducted through a focused group. So in the research analysis in part A, for applying quantitative analysis, we have collected data on SJR ranking. That is in this SJR ranking, age index and total number of document published in the year of 2019. So total number of reference obtained in the year 2019 and the number of documents cited within 2 years, and the number of document referred in the year 2019 of different Indian research journals to observe whether the publishing journals are good quality or not. So further, for more clarification than deciding whether the journal published every year in the Indian research journal are good of quality or not, we have to calculate the correlation coefficient between the factors we have drawn from the collected data. So by using bivariate Pearson correlation, you can see we got the following result, which is presented by this tabulation, where SJR is SC Imago journal risk, and V3 is the H index of the Indian research. V5 is the total number of documents published in the year of 2019 in various Indian research journals. V7 is the total number of references obtained by the respective journals in the year of 2019. And V9 is the number of documents cited from respective Indian research journals within 2 years. And V11 is number of documents that referred from respective Indian research journals in 2019. And N is the number of observation. So from the above calculation, there is a negative correlation between total number of documents published and SJR ranking. So total document published and citation per document in 2 years, total number of reference in the year of 2019, and citation per document in 2 years. So this negative correlation indicates that if one factor increases, other will be decreases. So here from the observation, we got that when one parameter increases, other one will be decreases, which indicates that the quality of the journals are not that good. But also, if we focus on positive side, then there is a strong positive correlation between citation per document in 2 years and SJR ranking, which indicates the respective journal have good quality of cited documents. So this implies the quality of journal is a somehow good. From the above act, our finding is that while certain Indian research paper have made important contribution to innovation and development, the overall quality of research publication by Indian academics is being scrutinized. So part B, as per the background study of this research, we have considered 10 variables for our analysis in regards to the quality of paper. But utilizing the one sample t test, independent sample t test, and ANOVA, the author applied one sample t test to verify the parameters that impact on the quality of research. The result has taken from the SPSS software, and it was found that for all the parameters, p-value is less than 0.05, which indicates that the parameters give the negative remarks on the quality of research. This result shows the researcher must focus on those parameters for improvisation. So further more clarification on this particular table, I would like to request Kajal, please go ahead with all the rest part. Over to you, Kajal.
Thank you, Saptasindhu. As Saptasindhu discussed about the part B, which is the ANOVA test. For applying ANOVA test, we have taken overall quantity parameter as dependent, and the other 10 independent variables are we have taken all the other independent variables, 10 independent variables. Here the result shows the hypothesis has been clearly defined by the Indian researcher at 5% level of significance. Again, further research conclusion as well as research solve the current research problem, these two factors are 10% level of significance. The other remaining parameters apart from these three factors as well indicate that the parameters are not clearly defined in their research articles. Through the independent sample t-test, we have tested that the segment of gender, age and group and as well as profession have the same opinion regarding the above fact. According to the result of above analysis, can you please next slide? Yes, thank you. According to the result of above analysis, we got that Indian research papers are not that noteworthy in many of the matrices used to support the quality of the research. Next slide. Here in part C, we have done a survey through telecalling where we have asked the target respondents some question related to our research. We got 49 responses from which 11 are female and 38 are male. According to the survey, 57.1% people here we got that 57.1% people are agree that according to their research topic, the information they got from previous research Indian articles are enough for their research. Among our target respondents, as well 85 to 90% of the researchers prefer Indian article because language and the writing pattern is so easy and understandable for them. Other mainly prefer the foreign article because the scenarios are more relevant to them, and 100% of them prefer foreign articles because the foreign articles give new perspective. It helps to identify the gap in Indian context and to upgrade the recent development in tools and methods as well. According to our survey, 42.9% people are satisfied with the content that Indian articles presented. Next slide. Yeah, through qualitative research analysis, we find that Indian research articles are mainly simple. They have great level of citation, research area, and they cover Indian scenarios, which is easy to correlate with, as well as they
Sorry
explain.
to interrupt, ma'am. Please go to conclusion.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you. They explain very well and easy to understand. However, articles, these Indian articles have been lacking on high visibility, updated methodology and tools, true and proper guidance of expert. Also, they do not cover the global parameters. Some of them are mainly hypothetical. Chance of work being paraphrased or copied is higher. Chances of data manipulation is higher as well. So from the above analysis, our finding is that Indian research articles are not up to that global standard. As Saptasindhu and I previously discussed, from that we conclude the above study is conducted in three distinct dimensions. The first dimension undertake the secondary data set to carry forward the research, and finding was some of the Indian research articles are significantly contributed on innovation and development, but the overall of research publication by the Indian researcher are under scrutiny. The second dimension focuses on the primary survey of the quantitative parameter from the different researcher, and finding was Indian research articles not that significant in many of the parameters, which is supported the quality of the research paper. Further, in the last and third dimension, the research focuses on the primary survey of qualitative parameter, and finding was Indian research articles are not up to that global standard. Finally, by taking three-dimensional research or study, we conclude that the researchers must put more effort on their research work and research publication. Next. So these are the references. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very nice presentation. And the topic is something every 4 or 5 years we have a ref submission, which comes to assess the quality of. I'm talking about ref submission in the UK, which every 5 years we have ref submission. At the time, the question about the quality of the publications and also impact of the publication comes to the table, and lots of discussion goes ahead how we could assess the quality of publications. And your paper really covers the recent discussion that most of university had on assessing the quality of publications. Thank you very much for this nice presentation and the topic. Let's see if we have any question from our audience. If there is any question, let's first take audience question. No question. Okay. Then it comes to, could I ask a couple of questions myself?
Yes,
This is
please,
not
please.
my
Yes,
field.
sir.
What I'm asking is mainly, the general question I have. Look for any publication, for example, for journals, for conferences. If you just search on Google's journal ranking, a web page comes. And that web page gives you lots of information about quality. For example, if that journal, for example, is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and various impacts, how many citation that journal has, and it gives you some equations about the impact of this, publication in particular journals. Have you considered the same assessment criteria for publication in India, or you develop your own assessment criteria?
Sir, we have developed our own assessment. We have gone through all the background study of this topic. We have find out there are no this kind of topic in the previously not done by other researcher authors. So what we have done in this topic, sir, we have searched in Indian research authority. There are many authors are published their paper, but whether this publication of paper or whether the data has really very helpful to the student educational institution, or whether the data is really in that there are no any data difference, like we have got the 70 data but we are just put 700 to data reliable in the SPSS. Many authors do like this, so we have gone through entire the case and we have done this assessment in our own case study.
Okay, my next question is, you said about the primary and secondary data gathering. For primary, you perhaps look at the web and the impact of different journals. Secondary, you send some questionnaire to the authors and ask them some questions. What was the procedure to generating those questionnaires? Because every question should be, in a way that not biasing the researcher to answer the question that you expect, at the same time getting independent and fair answers. What was procedure in creating those questionnaires?
Sir, to prepare the questionnaire, we have to follow certain rules. Like the questionnaire should be in there should be a link between the questions, and we have to ask the proper question, which is legal to ask someone. Okay, and this question we have prepared like the to the researcher, to the authors, like how many papers they have published in a year in India, whether they are considered the Indian publisher or the foreign publisher. If they are doing the research, then what kind of analysis they are doing in their research. So according to prospecting on this particular topic, we have made the questionnaire, and we have circulated through the Google form, and collect the data set from the target audience.
So you had a known participant, or no, it was just sent to different university and various people across different university pick the form randomly and back to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was randomly, because if we will ask someone known person, they may be maybe there is a data validation will be not possible in the spaces. So we are just made the questionnaire and we are just send it to different university. There is no like whether they are known to us or unknown to us. So we are just circulate the questionnaire from the different university in the India. Sir.
Okay, my next question comes from, when you gather the information, so those information could be used for extracting different information from them. Like you could classify them according to the topic, according to the type of researchers. Have you analyzed those data, also put some graphs or some tables to get more details? For example, might be in engineering, the approach of researchers are different from medicine side or from pure sciences.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for this. This is a very good question, sir. Actually, we have done a factor analysis here. Okay, so we ask the author, like, what are the parameter that should be there in the research methodology, by means of which a paper can be a good quality of paper can be published in Indian research authority. So suppose one person share like 5 parameters, another person different 5 parameters. So we just collect the parameter and we put in the spaces and find out the 7 parameters that already I have discussed here, sir. In this table you can see V3, V5, V7, V9, V11. So these are the these are the most essential factors that influence to the authors to make a good quality of research to publish in Indian research.
Yeah, I have a research partner in India.
Yes, sir.
When we end up with some draft manuscript before submission, normally they said because of some state universities prefer publication which will be considered for their promotion if they publish it in SI type of a journal. So that government decision, or those universities, also affects the interest of the researchers where to publish. That influence also been considered in your research or not?
Sir, it is considered. Sir. It is considered in many universities.
Okay, that's great. Very nice presentation and a nice topic for research. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, both of you. Okay, any other papers?
No, sir, we are done with our presenters. So can we start our closing remarks?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
We
Any
are
of
done.
the
We are
we've
done.
done, yeah?
Yes,
Should I
sir.
close the session?
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay, I would like
Can
to thanks all the audience and also presenter for bringing different aspects to this conference, and also bringing some new knowledge which enables everybody to learn from you and also share the gap in the knowledge and get idea for further research in this field. Thank you very much and enjoy the evening in India, and that's it for today.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, and we are closing the session then.
Just a minute, sir. I have remarks. So can I?
Yes, please.
Yes, I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. All the presenters would be getting the digital certificates via email within 2 working days. All the papers have been already forwarded to the Springer, so publication will be live within 5 to 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of WS4 2021. I thank our session chair, Dr. Akbar, for chairing the session. A token of appreciation to the chair on behalf of Team WS4 2021 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable presence.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody.
Also, I would like to request you all to on the camera so that I can have a quick snapshot for our virtual conference. Rest of the authors, if possible. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Stay safe. Yeah. Stay safe. Take care, everyone.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye, sir. Thank you, sir.